Now we will understand the meaning of sphere, and we will also discuss the properties of a sphere and the real world examples of sphere. We will then understand the formula for calculation of the surface area of sphere as well as the volume of the sphere. First of all, we will understand the definition of sphere. Sphere is a three-dimensional geometric object that is perfectly round and symmetrical. In this picture, you can see that it is perfectly round and it is symmetrical. We, the example of a sphere is basketball or tennis ball. We can visualize the three-dimensional nature of the sphere as it extends outward from the center and it fills the space in all directions. Though the sphere does not have three distinct dimensions such as length, width, and height, yet it is called three-dimensional object. The distance between the center, this is the center point, and any point on the surface of the sphere, you can see that this is the outer points, these are the outer points. From this point to this point or this point to this point, the distance is the same, and this constant distance is known as radius of the sphere. This is the radius of the sphere. If we join this line to this point, this will be also known as radius of the sphere. Now the properties of a sphere. A sphere is symmetric with respect to its center. It means that any line passing through the center, suppose if a line is passing through here, it divides the sphere into two equal halves. You can see that if we cross a line through the center, it will divide this sphere into two equal halves. You can see here that this sphere has been divided into two equal halves, and any point on the surface of the sphere is equidistant from the center. A sphere has smooth, continuous surface with no edges or vertices. It means that it does not have such like pointy surface. Now the real world examples of sphere. You can see here that basketball as well as the tennis ball is the common example of a sphere. Sun and earth, though they are not a perfect sphere, their shape closely resembles a sphere. Planets like Mercury, Venus, Mars, as well as other celestial bodies such as moons, asteroids, often exhibit spherical shapes. Now we have understood what are the real world examples of sphere. Now we will understand the difference between hemisphere and sphere. A sphere is a three-dimensional geometric shape which is completely round with all the points on the surface of the sphere are at equal distance from the center. A sphere has only one face which is curved. You can see here that this face is curved. On the other hand, a hemisphere is half of a sphere. A sphere can be divided into two equal parts and each part is known as hemisphere. A hemisphere has two faces. One is this, other is this. This face is known as curved face. And this is known as flat face. The two shapes, that is the sphere as well as the hemisphere, are related to each other, but the hemisphere has a flat base whereas a sphere has no base. Now we will understand the formula for calculation of surface area of a sphere, because though we are doing the course on volume of a sphere. Here in the coming time we will discuss the questions or do the examples which will also involve the surface area of sphere. So we will also understand the surface area of sphere. The surface area of the sphere is the total area covered by its curved surface. This is the curved surface, the total area covered. This is the surface area of sphere. The formula for calculation of the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square, where a represents the surface area of the sphere. Pi is a mathematical constant which is equal to 22/7 or 3.14159. In this formula, we have used r square, where r stands for radius of the sphere, which is the distance from its center to any point on the surface of the sphere. Now, volume of sphere. What is the meaning of volume of sphere? Volume of a sphere refers to the amount of space occupied by the sphere in three-dimensional space. In other words, this space which is occupied by the sphere is known as volume. It is a measure of the total quality or internal content of the sphere. In simple terms, we can say that volume of the surface, volume of the sphere tells us how much material or substance can fit inside the sphere. In other words, we can take the example that suppose there is a basketball. We make some small hole in it and put water in it, and we will then the volume will tell us how much amount of water will be there in the sphere shaped basketball. The volume of sphere. The formula for calculation of volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, where v represents the volume of the sphere. Pi is a mathematical constant which is approximately equal to 3.14159, and r stands for radius of the sphere. We have given this formula here also. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.